Hi, I am here to share about the goddess Hecate today, who is an incredibly powerful goddess to work with, especially if you align with the healer or dark goddess archetypes. She is a goddess that is very much aligned with magic, prophecy, death and rebirth, regeneration. She is a goddess of the underworld. Well, she's considered more of a goddess of the underworld, though originally she actually was really revered as a goddess of all phases of the moon, of all aspects of the divine feminine, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. So I'm going to do a little dive into Hecate with you, and I have a special surprise for you, a free gift for you that I will share with you at the end to help you, if you have experienced any of the wounds that those devotees of Hecate have experienced over the years, to support you in healing them. And so Hecate was, as I mentioned, goddess of magic, ritual, prophetic vision, etc. She was a psychopomp, which meant that she escorted souls through the underworld. So she really supported people in that transition from death into life again, which was a big deal back in the day. It was an important part of the cyclical process. Death was not feared. In fact, it was perceived to be a time of great transformation. And so she is also in that she's really every woman's potential as witch, seer, medium, healer. She allows us to activate that within ourselves. She allows us to see the potentiality of that, and she helps us to bring it online. So she is also known as Queen of the Crossroads. So she was, for thousands of years, honored and worshipped at any crossroads, anytime three paths came together. This is in part connected to her triple goddess form, right? Which is also the three phases of the moon: crescent, full, and dark. And she, at the three crossroads has those meanings. And then it also is the three directions that you're able to see. So connected to her prophetic vision, her ability to see into the past, the present, and the future. She was known as Hecate Triformis, which reflects this triple goddess entity. She was also later in the triple goddess sort of alliance with Persephone as maiden, Demeter as mother, and Hecate as crone. And she, in later mythologies, or later mythological interpretations, right? She, after the rise of the patriarchal rule, she was really Persephone's guide into the underworld. She supported her as she was adjusting to becoming the queen of the underworld in her own right. And so, let's see, she was later reduced in power. So originally she was perceived to be very powerful. She was not a part of the Olympic pantheon originally, but Zeus understood her to be as powerful as him, and the only deity that had the power of granting or taking away anything that they desired from humanity. Later, she was reduced in power, of course, as happened to all of the goddesses, really, and became one of the daughters of Zeus and Hera. She later in medieval times, and this is, I think, where she really became, where she really got the brunt of patriarchal toxicity, right? And where her devotees also were really wounded. And I think that this is very important for so many of us who identify with witchiness in this lifetime, and who identify as healers and seers who have witch wounds, which is something I'm going to talk about in a minute. And so the Catholic Church, she was very powerful, and even into the Middle Ages, many people worshiped her, not just in Greece, outside of Greece as well. And she had she was like the matron goddess of witches, and a lot of witchcraft is still really aligned with her. And so, I mean, of course the church wanted to completely destroy her, to destroy her image, right? So they had like this propaganda that went out against her, and she became particularly diabolized by the church. And anyone who was a devotee of Hecate would be persecuted. And so a lot of women were persecuted for this reason. That was when she was twisted from like the sort of revered crone to the hag, right? I mean, hag way back when referred to holy. Hagio means holy. And so that was really, it was an honor, and it became twisted to the ugly, evil hag, sort of under the Catholic Church's watch, right? One other thing I do want to mention about Hecate is that her origins are not in Greece. They go back beyond that, right? And we actually see this with a lot of the older goddesses, that they traveled as people traveled, they traveled, right? So even like Kali is, there is the Kalek, it is believed in the Celtic lands, has her origins in Kali. And so we see a lot of this dissemination. And so Hecate, her origins are from Egypt, from ancient Egypt, and she is associated with the Egyptian midwife goddess Hecate. And Hecate evolved from Hek, which was the tribal matriarch of pre-dynastic Egypt. And it was known that the Hek was the wise woman who took care of the Hekau, which meant mother's words of power. And so I wanted to share that too, because Hecate was really perceived as an incredibly powerful goddess, which was why she was so threatening, and which was why she was diabolized later by the Catholic Church. And so as women, I feel like it's very important when we talk about these older myths to really honor the reclamation of that power. And when we work with Hecate, we are reclaiming our power as healers, as intuitives, as seers, as queens, right? As queens of the ability to transform. And this is so needed right now. And all of us who are healers, intuitives, it's so essential that we really, really own our power right now, and that we heal these past life witch wounds, ancestral witch wounds that are really holding back so many people. I mean, I know that I have been working on witch wounding for a long time. I still have stuff come up around it. I work with so many women who have witch wounds, and even men who have witch wounds, who were women in past lives, who have the same wounding. And that is this fear of visibility, this fear of sharing who they truly are, this fear of being powerful in the healing arts or intuitive arts professions. And so I want to offer to you a free witch wound healing that I did with my beloved soul sister, Ina Lucas. It is a powerful, powerful witch wound healing to support you in your ability to heal these ancestral and soul wounds of the past and step into your power as a healer or intuitive in the present. And so I am going to link that for you, and I want you to know how grateful I am for you. If you enjoyed this video and if you want to see more like it, also sometimes I share mini activations on these. I share tips and tools for opening up your intuition, for tapping into your psychic powers, for healing. I would love for you to just subscribe by hitting the little subscribe button there. And if you know of anyone who could benefit from hearing this information or from healing their own witch wounds, please pass this along. It is time for all of us to rise up in our power. I want to thank you so much. I have so much gratitude for you, and take care. Thank you.